I find out
Yeah, I'll go to YouTube right now to find out.
what number it is.
Yeah, hold on, switch account. Oh yeah, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of. We're not sure which. I'm checking this episode right now. One second. Welcome back to an episode of A Hill to Die
I'm pretty
On.
sure at this point we don't even need to announce what episode we're on.
E- Episode 12. Welcome back to another episode of A Hill to Die On. This is episode 12. I am one of your illustrious hosts, Comey. We have our other two hosts here, Brett and Jonathan Wilson, or Jonathan Wolf, as some might call him.
No, fuck off. Stop that. Stop
Jonathan
that.
Wolf. It's been 2 weeks since we've done a podcast. Look, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I said they wouldn't do it. They didn't. They proved me. They proved me right. I did. I'm not gonna give them too much shit for.
In my defense, I
I'll let
asked
them-
several times.
I'll let them beat
You
themselves
asked
up.
once. You asked once.
Fucking liar.
You hit me up. Actually, you hit me up once. I said I can't do tonight or tomorrow. I don't know exactly but I can do later in the week. And
I
then
imagine
radio
the
silence.
text. I imagine the text was something along the lines of, "We're not going to do this podcast, right?" And John was like, John just liked the text, and that was pretty much
like the message didn't even
that was the extent
didn't even
of it.
respond.
Yeah.
I was like, cool.
Okay. Yeah. He hearted it. It's like, I'm
Oh,
glad
Kobe.
Let's see what.
Kobe, you'll get a kick out of this. I was in the pool last night with Corey Ann. There's a pool in our complex, and there was these dudes playing with water guns, and they were like, and there were girls of them and everything, and they were like 25, 26 years old, and one of them accidentally sprayed me in the face with a water gun. He goes, "Oh, no diddy."
That's very funny. Also, I think the only context in which you're allowed to play with water guns as an adult man is there has to be like women
There
around.
has to be women.
Yeah, you're not allowed to play with water guns as an adult if there are no women.
What about kids? What about kids?
Well,
Yo,
yeah, of
absolutely.
course.
Oh wait.
Okay.
Wait, kids around. Yeah. You're allowed to.
Like it's just you and kids.
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
there's
I
no
don't know.
situation in which adult men can just be shooting with nobody else around.
Yeah,
Can be
yeah.
playing with water guns.
You're not allowed to have fun. At least that type of fun you're not allowed to have. Well, that's pretty funny. Man said no diddy. I think that whole story.
Okay, can I quickly read this text exchange because it's actually not
Absolutely.
that far off from what you said, Comey, and I didn't realize it at the time. So Brett texts me on Saturday, the 20th of April. Yo, any availability to record a pod tomorrow? And I say, probably not, sadly, because I'll be driving most of the day. It's going to be kind of hard to find a time until next weekend. And Brett just goes, okay, no worries.
That's pretty much it. He just doesn't follow up at all.
And then I said, although this is the part you're going to hate, Comey. I said, although I can try to find a day. And Brett said, all good.
Oh, that's insane. So, anyways, look, all I'm gonna say is I was pretty spot on there. It doesn't matter. I don't think that enough people are listening to this podcast for people to care that
Hey, we got 100 downloads.
we did, but yeah.
We did. Also, I'll be honest. I have no issue. Like I would have been happy to record a podcast with you, Brett.
Me too.
But
Yeah,
I
shut the
think
fuck up.
just
guys.
in terms of
you're not allowed to say that. That's insane. You literally just read me the text conversation. There was like no effort whatsoever. He's like, "You want to do a podcast?" No.
Wait.
All right, cool. Fuck it.
but does effort have to correlate to desire?
I think they go in tandem. I think they go kind of hand in hand. At least with
I would have
that's
loved to have done
probably
a
true.
podcast.
It doesn't sound like it. This man said,
It does not sound like it. You said all good.
So speaking of effort, I gotta go pick up my croissants. Hang on a second.
all right.
No problem. Comey, do you think are we going to get into the? I mean, okay. I think we had a huge missed opportunity by not recording this weekend because we could have done a reaction video to any of the Meet the Grams. They're not like us. We could have done a reaction video. Our pod would have blown up.
I'm glad Brett's gone for this because he obviously doesn't listen to hip hop. He only listens to show tunes. But with that said, yes, I wanted to bring up some that shit's, bro.
It's insane. I'm actually very curious for your take. I'm
Oh, it's
very curious for your take.
Fantastic. I think that
It's fun.
It's absolutely, man. Hip hop is a good thing when it's good.
So what are we talking? I'm sorry. We're reacting to what?
We're reacting to hip hop. This is hip hop.
The Hamilton 2.
Yeah, they announced Hamilton.
No way, really?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, dude, I think that they're both doing a really good job with like holding their own. I think Kendrick's definitely winning at this point.
This is the only one that I've heard is the one. What?
Well, did you hear that Lin-Manuel Miranda and Ben Platt are in a huge rap battle beef right now over this weekend?
Yeah, and one of them's calling the other one a pedophile.
Yeah. And the other one's calling the other one a wife beater.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, continue, Comey. Continue.
No, I was saying that I was trying to pull up the names of what the different fucking songs, but
I got you. I can list them if you want.
I only listened to the one that came out like yesterday.
Guy knows them by memory, but Not Like Us, I think is obviously,
Yeah, that's the one that I heard.
It goes so hard.
I mean, a really good West Coast like anthem. If we're gonna
anthem,
it's amazing. But I think Drake's holding his own, especially for a pop artist. But no, but I think he's doing a really good job. I thought that he would like honestly be buried by now because I think Kendrick is definitely a more lyricist, a better lyricist, I should say, than Drake. Drake is really good at making hit songs, no questions asked. Like he's probably one of the best hit makers like alive today. I almost said ever, but I think Michael Jackson might have him beat with that. But yeah, the shit's crazy, man. I'm excited. I think it might be over at this point, though. I don't think Kendrick's gonna release anything else, just because it doesn't. The last thing that Drake made doesn't really warrant.
It was pretty rough.
Yeah,
it wasn't very good.
It was fine. I thought it was fine, but it wasn't better than Not Like Us, and it just doesn't feel like it warrants a response. In my opinion, in my humble opinion. So yeah,
humble.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing I'm curious about is I think I had my hip hop phase when I was in high school, and as part of that, you listen to all the like famous rap
Macklemore, Eminem.
Yeah,
Don't put
Mac Miller.
Don't put Eminem in the same category as Macklemore. That's insane.
As Macklemore is a wild take, but nonetheless, like all the songs, whether it's Ether or Hit 'Em Up or whatever. A lot of them they're clever, but the general feeling is like the energy on it and just basically how hard the dude is saying fuck the other guy. Yeah. But with these two, and I feel like it's got to be a post Pusha T Drake beef thing. Yeah. It seems like it's all about revealing dirt and secrets and shit.
Yeah,
and that's what is making people decide who's winning, which is so stupid because in the context of, and I actually think it ties with some of the stuff we talked on here before of like, how do you prove certain things? And in the context of songs, it's just one person saying you did this, the other person saying, no, I didn't, you did this.
Right.
That's horrible. Like that's the one part of it that I really haven't enjoyed very much.
Yeah.
Is that if those allegations are true, they're important to come out, but it's weird to me that is then conflated with making a good diss.
Yeah, and I think that especially with the what you said right there about them being allegations for both. Now, look, have
any actual allegations come out about Drake? Because all that I've seen about him is that he's just kind of weird and creepy.
Yeah, he has a tendency to like date younger women. Now I don't the thing that's being like kind of talked about is that the fact that he dates underage women, right? So obviously younger is not underage, right? I would assume.
And there is definitely truth to some of the people in his posse
camp
have in his camp have pretty bad. I think one of them in particular was convicted of human trafficking, and then when he got out of prison, Drake brought him back.
Bring him back into the circle.
So
but yeah, man,
there's definitely like weird energy around it, but nobody knows anything.
What did Kendrick? I've never heard anything bad about Kendrick Lamar.
The only thing
that stuff also seems so made up.
The only thing that Drake is really like alluding to is the fact that he's beat his fiance. He's hit his fiance, which I don't know if like there's anything in like legal standings like really backed that up, if they've ever gone to court or any like police investigations, or I don't know. So who
I don't
knows
think there's
about
been
that?
anything like that.
Yeah.
It feels a bit random. It kind of just feels like he needed to find something to go
Yeah.
after the character of the guy.
Kendrick Lamar. And then the other thing that Drake went after in the last song was, which was kind of weird, was the fact that uh in one of Mr. Morale, the album, Kendrick talks about his mother being sexually abused when she was young, and then his mother not believing him when he tells her that he was not sexually abused by his uncle. And Drake seems to
Cousin,
not
I
have
think.
What's up?
It doesn't really matter, but just for specificity, his cousin, I think.
Oh, cousin. Okay, my bad. My not uncle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like Drake listened to the entire song, because at the end of the song, um, Kendrick is specifically stating that he was not abused by his cousin, but his mother does not believe him because of her prior abuse when she was younger. And Drake is like, I see why you're obsessed with like the underage angle and like the Weinstein angle. Weinstein, i.e., underage girls or whatever, or underage people. I don't know, whatever. But I was like, that's weird, because it's not that wasn't the point of the song. The point of the song was like it was a different angle. That
So
Kendrick was
it's not the
coming
point
at
of the
from.
song. Also, it's a pretty gnarly take. Like I know nothing in the whole
Nothing. Yeah,
situation
that's what I was
has
gonna
been
say.
nice,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think I think when it comes to like at least rap beef, depending on like what things are unlocked during it, whether it be family or like sexual whatever. I think that at one point it just doesn't matter. You can just say whatever the fuck. I mean, what was that? Was that Tupac? It was like, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. So
yeah, that's hit him up. That's hit him
yeah.
up.
So I mean, well, it is what it is. I'm
But you
glad.
see, again, even that isn't trying to like get dirt on someone. He's just finding another way to say fuck you.
Yeah,
I feel
but
like Drake bringing up the molestation, the incorrect molestation thing with Kendrick
yeah,
is it's just like trying to find more dirt in some way, and that's
yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't land the same way with me. Even though I mean I don't know.
Anyways, you want to tell us more about what's going on Broadway, Brett? Maybe you can tell us about musicals or whatever.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
that
just
would.
announced the Tony Awards.
They did. They did.
Just announced the nominees. Oh. So there's a show called Lempicka, which opened at the La Jolla Playhouse.
I know Lempicka. I've watched Lempicka actually. I went to watch it.
Was it good?
It was good. I liked it. Yeah.
So it's closing after maybe only 30 performances on Broadway.
Hmm.
It only got one Tony nomination
Interesting.
for the lead actress,
She's. Is it? I think I know her.
Aiden Espinoza.
No, never mind. All right,
Yeah,
never mind.
she shared a dressing room with us because she was doing Gardens of Nuncia
Oh, okay, cool.
when we were doing Scrooge.
Yeah.
Anyway, she got nominated. The show announced that it was closing. It was a total flop. It couldn't sell tickets, and it's closing like in May. And lots of people are posting the fact that this is closing on Pride Month is a hate crime.
I hate crime.
Yep.
That's crazy. A hate crime. All right. I mean, look, I
And by
feel
the way, the show is about I can't remember
Les.
her first name, but it's about Lempicka the artist, and she was
Right.
a famous lesbian artist
Yeah, somewhere in
from like
France, I
100 years
believe, if
ago.
I believe correctly. Well, the play is the musical is pretty good. I don't fucking know shit about Broadway, man. I don't fucking, maybe it didn't survive on Broadway for a various amount of reasons, but I'm not gonna. I don't fucking know. Who knows? Maybe it is the worst thing to happen to
Well, I feel bad. Like if it's a
the
good show, it's a
LGBT
good show,
community.
but like blame it on ticket sales and like don't blame it on like Broadway being an asshole.
Yeah. Anyways, let me see. Look, I had podcast topics here. It's pretty funny that I wrote them while I was on the plane headed back to America.
Oh, I
The
have a
first
feeling
one.
they're going to be good then.
I did have one thing I wanted to say about Kendrick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Something funny about me after we just talked about my Broadway update. I went to go see Kanye West in concert when I was in high school.
You said this. You've told me this story before, but yeah.
and Kendrick opened, so he wasn't really very well known. And he comes out and he kills it. And the only thing I remember, because I don't know any of his music, the only thing I remember is I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. And I just remember hearing that, and that's been stuck in my head ever since I saw this concert. And nobody really knew who he was at the time. He was like hip hop people knew who he was, but to be honest with you, at a Kanye concert in Washington D.C., 60% of the people in the crowd were white people just kind of bopping their heads. And he kills it. Everyone goes crazy for him. And then Kanye comes out in a fucking Yeti costume, starts screaming at a guy in a wheelchair to stand up.
Which is amazing. Imagine the dude stands up. He's like, "Yeah, I am Jesus. Yeah."
And then Kanye was like, "Oh no, if you can't stand, then I'm sorry, but I thought you could stand."
Yeah, that's why they call me Jesus. Yeah. First podcast topic. I swear to God, it says you guys suck at podcasting, which was just me venting because I was like, they didn't make a fucking podcast, and I don't have anything to fucking watch. So that was the thing.
How mad do you think he was?
I really
on the plane.
I
Brett?
wasn't mad at all.
Do you think he was like shaking with rage?
Yeah.
With the turbulence of the airplane.
He punched the flight attendant.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong? The second thing.
Sir, why are you crying?
The second thing, and this is going to be insane. I might have to cut this out. So just a heads up, we might have to magic this real quick. I was thinking, I was watching. Oh my God, I was watching it on the plane. God damn it, what is it called? Fuck, man. God, whatever. It's like a new film. It just came out in 2024. It has a dude from Atlanta in it. The Lakeith Stanfield has Lakeith Stanfield in it.
Yep. Stanfield.
I thought it was Stafford, my bad. It's about the 13th apostle.
Okay.
You guys haven't seen any fucking it starts with the C.
I don't think I've heard of this. The Book of Clarence?
The Book of Clarence, that's right. So I was watching the Book of Clarence on the plane. And I was like, so I watched the whole thing and I was like, wow, this is like it's pretty good. It got a pretty bad rating on Rotten Tomato, but what the fuck do people on the internet know? And I was like, yo, this reminds me of, even though I've never watched it, The Passion of the Christ, right? And look, I've always heard that I've never watched Passion of the Christ. I've always heard like bad things about Mel Gibson and how much he hates the Jews. Now, I'd like your guys' take if you guys have watched Passion of the Christ. How anti-Semitic is the
It's not good.
Is it
not good?
Wait, listen. Is it not a good film, or is it anti-Semitic?
It's not the most anti-Semitic thing in the world, but John, have you seen it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the movie's not that good because it's basically just torture porn.
I see.
It's basically of Jesus. It's like just you watching him just like get poked and prodded, and they have all those.
But isn't that kind of what Catholicism is?
Yes, but here's the thing. But that's pretty much, it's 2.5 hours of that. So that doesn't make it like there's no real good story there. It's just 2.5 hours of him being whipped and tortured. And it's not really it's Catholic parents and Christian parents tell their kids, you have to watch this because this is what happened.
I see.
And I'm like, all right, well, whether or not that's what happened, 9/11 also happened. It wouldn't make it a good movie to just watch a plane crash into a building.
Jeez.
But but the thing that makes it anti-Semitic is the Jews are really egregious. The Jews calling for his death, they're like, like it's really, they're like, do it, get him. It's like crazy. So it's not the worst thing in the world because like he's not saying Jews are bad guys. He's saying the bad guys are the people calling for his death who just so happen to be Jews. You put that together with the fact that his father is one of the most notorious Australian anti-Semites who wrote books about how the Holocaust didn't happen. And then you put that together with the fact that he said all those terrible things to that cop when he got pulled over when he was drunk. Yeah. And then you put that together with all those terrible things he said to his daughter over the phone. It's like, I'm not buying the fact that you're not, I'm not buying the fact that you're just a good person. Like if it was one of those things, you can be forgiven, but you put like 4 or 5 terrible things that you've done together.
Interesting. Okay. All right, that's a pretty good take actually. Because I'm like, yo, my first reaction, obviously, because I was watching the Book of Clarence. There's a small section in there, a very brief, like honestly, like less than 10 seconds, um, where I don't want to ruin the film for you guys. I don't know if you guys are gonna watch it, but like it seems to be what is Jewish people, like just standing somewhere, and there's like again like a brief scene, like less than 10 seconds, and that's what reminded me. I was like, oh, okay, interesting, because I know that the Passion of the Christ has always been like labeled as, or Mel Gibson has always been labeled as anti-Semitic, and I know that he directed the film. So I was just like, I wonder how bad the film. I need to watch the film, but I was like, I wonder how anti-Semitic the film actually is. Like, because at the end of the day, right? My thought was that the film just follows history, right? Or the Bible, if you want to call it that,
Which one? The
whatever. But
Passion of the Christ?
yeah, which is like essentially what happened to Jesus, historically. And that's what I figured the film
But
was
for me,
about. But
you still have to tell a good story. You can't just visually show.
understandable. No,
You
no, no,
can't
no.
just
Understandable.
visually show me what happened and then expect me to think it was a great movie.
1000% understandable, and that's where I could see why some people would say that the film was bad, and then also, yeah.
Speaking
Well,
Anyways,
so
of
I
Jim,
mean, there is disagreement about what historically happened. I mean, there's what is in the Bible. There's disagreement about how the validity of that historically. So I mean, I think many people have different opinions and biases about what that story is and what it should look like. And so any filmmaker is going to be bringing those to the table.
okay. I
And
mean,
so
this.
even though I haven't seen it, I my feeling is Mel Gibson is doing that. He would bring whatever biases and perspective
Yeah,
he
yeah,
has on it to that table for better or worse.
yeah.
speaking of Passion of the Christ, the guy who plays Jesus is in that movie. His name is Jim Caviezel, and he
Can you
just got.
guys imagine? Sorry, can you guys imagine the pressure of being cast as Jesus?
Yeah, he's never been cast in anything else. Like
Yeah, that
he was a huge star after that, and then you've never seen him again. But there were a bunch of allegations, not allegations, but kind of allegations. I can't remember exactly what it was about, but it was a lot of things of people saying that he's like either anti-gay or anti-Jew or something like that because he's a Christian. He makes a lot of Christian movies, and a lot of people were saying things about him on Facebook. And my dad commented on one of the articles, and again, I could be totally wrong about what they're saying about him. I don't remember exactly what it was, but this is this week. There was an article that was a hit piece on him saying he was this, and this, and he's a Christian this, and he's this, and that. And my dad said, you can't judge how somebody actually is based on
the religion,
the
just
fact
simply by
based on the fact that they're a Christian or they make
yeah.
Christian films. And then Jim Caviezel commented on my dad's post. He said thanks and left a like.
Oh shit, your dad's getting canceled. What the fuck is he doing?
that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I was 1000% going to say the same thing, because that'd be the same thing as like labeling anyone as something just because they're part of a certain religion. It's like that makes no sense. Like you could be the most devout Christian in the world and still like want good for everyone, and
Do
that's
you guys think
okay.
that applies to Scientology?
No, it doesn't. Scientologists are the
I
worst,
think it
and
applies to Scientologists, not to Scientology. I don't think
No,
Scientology. I
I don't
think
know. I don't know if I feel like it applies to Scientologists. And I don't mean that those aren't people who are like worthy of love and compassion, all that.
one thousand
But
percent
I
not.
think if
One
you are
thousand percent not. I'm never
if you're
gonna make it
still
in
part of
Hollywood.
Scientology,
yeah, but you're
if
kind of
you were still,
brainwashed into it.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like they should be able to be forgiven. Like it's not like
Yeah, should
an
go to
unforgivable
church.
crime to be a Scientologist. But I think if somebody's part of that, you can assume that they're a little bit nutty
Yeah, of course.
at
But
that present moment.
Like the
the
nutty
thing
professor.
here's what I don't understand. With everything that's come out about Scientology, who genuinely walks into a Scientology church right now?
Okay,
Like,
but okay. Wait.
Dude, there are a lot of lost people in the world.
Wait.
There are a
Let
lot
me
of people looking for an answer somewhere.
let me
and
just say
also,
this.
what I will say is Dianetic. Hang on,
Go
hang on,
me.
Coley.
God
What I
damn
will
it.
say is, Dianetics. The reason why Scientology gets so many people is because Dianetics actually does work. Dianetics is the first step into Scientology.
What is Dianetics? I don't actually
It's
know.
a psych. It's a book that L. Ron Hubbard wrote. It's a book on psychology, not on Xenu or any of the aliens that got thrown into a volcano and then their spirits became us.
Possessed.
It's none of that shit. It's actually a real form of psychology that does work for some people, where it's like the trauma you're experiencing, you not liking something or the way you are right now, and how whatever negative feelings you feel now is based on some trauma you've had in the past.
I feel
And
like
so
that's just psychology 101, though. I feel like,
well, what Dianetics tries to do is Dianetics tries to get you to find out what that trauma is and expose you to the trauma so that you can kind of rid yourself of that negativity in the present.
yes,
And that's
for 7 easy payments of $79.99, you can rid yourself of
well,
that
it
trauma.
starts off free because I went in there and I wanted to do it, and then
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
I went to the
damn.
Church of Scientology in New York and I wanted to do it.
They got
And
him. They got him, John. That's why he's acting like
Yeah,
it's a real
he's
thing.
a sleeper agent.
well, what happened was I went in there and they said, I said, hi, I'm interested. I read a lot about it and it looks really interesting. Is there a way that I can get a reading? Because they have you start doing one of those e-readings, which is your first step into Dianetics, where they give you an e-reader and there's somebody there who's trying to get you to talk about your trauma, and it's free. And they said, first, we'd like you to step into our movie theater and watch this film about Scientology and what Dianetics is. And I walked in and it was I was the only person in the movie theater. It's like a 10-person room. And it's basically like, have you ever wondered why you don't like deviled eggs? And then then it just cuts back to a little boy going, Dad, I brought deviled eggs. His dad just smacks the shit out of him.
Like, we don't fuck with deviled eggs in this house.
And I just started dying laughing.
Oh, thank you.
And by the time I left the theater, by the time I left the movie theater, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for my reading. And they were like, oh, actually, nobody's here. You can feel free to enter the bookshop though if you want. So I think they heard me laughing.
Yeah, I think that's also like one way for them to just like gain dirt on you. I've seen enough like Scientology like documentaries. Like, the more information you give them, the easier it is for them to like kind of blackmail you when it comes to trying to leave that whole cult. I don't want to even call it a religion because it's a fucking cult, to be honest.
It's a cult.
Also, Brett, I'm reading the Wikipedia article, like excerpts from it on Dianetics, and it seems like it's been pretty thoroughly refuted by modern psychology.
Really? I always thought that that's what got people into it, was it was working for them.
I mean, I'm sure. I think the idea is it's kind of dressed up in the language of something that would work, right?
Yeah.
But there's multiple sources that say it has
like
no empirical evidence to support its usage, like of any kind. I mean, granted, the principle of trauma is all over the place right now, and trauma informed therapy is on the rise, and there is good empirical evidence behind that and those processes. But my guess is Dianetics isn't using those tools to help people. It's just an overall descriptive process.
Right.
And then how they apply it is probably not very helpful, is my guess.
Right.
I've always, this is gonna be the last thing about Scientology. The funniest thing to me is the fact that L. Ron Hubbard was a science fiction writer prior to writing the book of Scientology. And I think there's like maybe an interview that he stated, or something he was doing an interview where he wrote somewhere that the easiest way to make money is to create a religion. This motherfucker, he pretty much just did that. And now the man has a whole fucking cult around the whole entire globe. Like, it stretches as far as Ukraine, by the way. That's how far this shit stretches.
By the way, just let me say, there's not as many members as they say there are. They say there are millions of them, and there aren't.
There probably are.
Do you guys want to start a religion?
Yes.
Listen, I've been saying that we need to whistleblow for a while, but now you've given me a better idea, which is that maybe we need to be the ones that are whistle blown upon.
I want to be the whistle.
Hey, a man trying to get blowed, homie. That's what's shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting little segue there. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this is another
Into
thing that I
what?
thought.
Does that actually relate to what you were going to say
No,
next?
no. I meant
Okay.
like we veered off the path, but there's no path to fucking veer off of anyways. But no. Also, those of you who don't know, right? Brett and John didn't do a podcast, obviously, because I was gone. So yeah. Um, when I was on my way back, the 12-hour flight from Togo for to Washington, there's a baby, probably like 2, maybe 3. I want to say like 5 seats behind me.
I like that. 2, maybe 3.
I don't know how old. I don't know how old the little bitch was. And it was a boy, not a girl. But yeah. So, and you'll understand why I'm calling him a little bitch right now. So he was like 5 seats behind, and the entire flight, mind you, it's 12 hours. Like there's
What
a good
airline?
Ethiopian.
Okay.
There's a good amount of time where like everybody's sleeping. Like the most part, most people are sleeping. I probably slept for like maybe an hour. Um, and like they'll dim all the lights, because like not international flights, they'll do that because it's a lot to fucking do. This little fuck was crying the entire time.
Of course, it's a plane.
No, fuck that. And I knew that one of you guys were gonna say that, but this is my fucking point. This is what I'm gonna say. I didn't say that you were going to say, John. I said that one of you, for those of you just listening, John's making a fucking hand gesture like I said that he was going to say it. Look, I understand that we're thousands of feet above the ground and the kid's ear is popping and he has no idea what the fuck is going on. But the fact that we have, as like humans, we make a social contract to be okay with that is out of this fucking world to me. Wait, 1 second. I did not choose to have that child, right? So that child is now in my fucking space after I've paid $1,300 some for a fucking plane ticket, and I'll have to listen to this fucking kid for the next 13 hours. And like, I also have to make it seem like it's not a big deal, like not turning around or like not making it like can turning around, but like, hey, can you shut the fuck up? Can you make your baby shut the fuck up? Like, I can't do that. I just have to like be okay with it and just look straight forward and not. That's fucking crazy to me.
Did the mother even try? That's what pisses me off.
No, man. It was a
That's what
13-hour
pisses
flight.
me
The kid
off.
just kept fucking crying. So the point that I'm trying to make is that there has to be something that has to be done about shit like that. Either we like fuck it, charge parents extra and like make a soundproof booth or some shit like that. I don't know. But like you can't have a baby crying for 13 hours on an international flight. That is not okay, man. That shit is
It's
not
not
okay.
the baby that pisses me off because a baby's being a baby. What pisses me off is the fucking parents.
Sure.
When they just sit there and let the baby cry. Like one time I was on a flight across the country. I think it was going to San Diego, and there was a baby that was crying the entire flight, but the mother had it
Fuck that baby.
had it in her arms, and she was rocking it and walking, like trying to like get it to be quiet. Like I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be mad about it.
Yeah.
But
It's like what is those things? Is that thing where it's like if it's my problem, it's our problem? It's like, no, fuck you. Like you're the one who decided to have the kid. I don't need to have to share in your fucking suffering. It's bullshit. All right,
So I
John's
think you're
gonna
going to be
say something.
surprised, Comey. No, I largely agree with you, mostly in the sense of I hate babies on planes so with such a deep part of myself that I've had this exact feeling before. I know exactly what you mean. I think the more rational part of me is like, there's not much that can be done about that on a wider level.
Man, throw the
because
fucking
the airlines
throw the
aren't
baby out of the plane, bro. I don't know.
airlines aren't gonna lose the customer, so they want to allow it for sure. There's no benefit to them to disallow babies from being on the plane or even putting in extra infrastructure to make it better for the passengers, because essentially that exists. It's first class, right? Like if you're in first class, like there's going to be
babies
ways
can be
around
in
that.
first class.
Can they?
They
Yeah.
absolutely can be in first class. If a parent has,
I guess that's a good point. I've just never really thought about that.
They get
You have a lot of
you've obviously never flown in first class, buddy. All right.
No, I've only flown first class twice, and both times I was like bumped up randomly. It was like a lottery thing.
I've
It was really
never
nice.
flown first class. I'm too poor.
I've only done it one.
But what
I've
I
only
was gonna
done it
say
one
is
time.
just get some noise canceling headphones. Like it is
I
that has
have,
been the
bro. Look at
greatest.
me, Mo. I have noise. I still
That's
can hear
not
the
noisy,
fucking
bro.
baby.
You need the over ear. You need the large ass in the studio.
Why the fuck? Why the fuck am I?
Headphones.
Why the fuck am I investing in their baby? All right, I didn't choose to have it. Why the fuck am I investing in the
Did you ever see
babies?
the video?
Well, this is what I'm saying. But it's not one baby. You know, there's always a baby on a flight. There
Fuck them
always
babies,
is.
bro. You bitch ass babies.
I've never been on a flight that doesn't have a baby.
Did you
And
ever
so
see the
you gotta have
video?
the headphones.
Did you
Nah, I
ever see the
feel it.
video where this guy's filming himself as a baby is screaming and crying behind him,
I've seen
and,
it.
and he just turns around and screams at the baby.
Yeah. As if the baby's like, "Oh, I understand. My bad. I didn't realize that you were
My
having a
bad,
tough
that's really
time."
gonna help the situation.
Can
Now I
tell
don't want to cry at all.
we might need to cut this next part out, but this story. It's awful. The man is still in prison. I think he should be in prison for even longer. It happened a couple years ago, but it's a story that made me laugh harder than it should have. And they talk about it,
And you're sure you want to tell it right now? You're
think so.
100% sure
said
you
we
want
can,
to.
we can cut it out if we
we
need
can cut
to.
it. So basically, this guy got arrested and he's in prison because he was boarding a plane. And he walked by. There was like a 2 or 3 year old black baby, and as he was walking by, he just slapped it in the face and called it the N word,
What the fuck, yo?
and then just continued on to his seat.
I'm sorry,
Wait,
what?
Was it a black dude or what was it?
He was a white dude.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
And then
Yeah,
he got
that's
he
insane.
got sentenced to like 10 years in prison, and I was like, oh, he should, like, that's an awful story, but there's something about it that just makes me laugh.
I would.
Like,
Did he have
just
like prior beef with the baby? What the fuck is going
No.
on?
I mean,
no,
also,
there was
no.
nothing.
So that if that was against an adult, that'd be a hate crime. So it's just a hate crime against a child. That's
It's a hate crime,
pretty-
and yeah, so he got. Let me see if I can find the article.
The first ever hate crime against a baby. Crazy.
I mean, I don't know if it's the first ever hate crime against a baby.
Nah, it's jokes.
Yeah.
What I hate is babies in not airports, in movie theaters.
I've
Get a
actually
fucking
never,
babysitter.
I've never run into a baby in a movie theater before.
Yeah, I've never run into that either.
Maybe I don't see enough films, but I've just never had.
I went to
don't
go
notice
see the Ghostbusters movie, the one with the female one with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, you mean female Ghostbusters?
Basically, I said the female one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
he got. Oh, damn! The dude was only sentenced to 8 months. He was 60 years old, from Hayden, Idaho.
That's it.
Homie, when's your birthday?
It was a 19-month-old baby, and he just slapped it and called it the N word and continued on.
That's fucking crazy. June, sometime in June.
That baby today? Drake.
Yeah, but
So stupid.
I was watching.
He was expecting a bigger reaction for that.
I was watching Ghostbusters in theaters, and there was a scary part at the beginning, and the ghost. There was like a big jump scare, and this baby immediately, like less than a year old, screams and starts screaming and crying, and I just yelled, "Get it out!" And I was sitting in the because
Tom Segura.
I'm a fucking lazy asshole, and I was sitting in the handicapped seat, so you have more leg room. But that's also the seats where there's the aisle, so people walk in front of you. And she walked by me, and she just goes, "It's a baby. Babies cry." I responded saying, "I'm not mad at the baby," and she walked out.
Yeah,
you brought a fucking baby to a ghost movie. What do you think is going to happen? Get a baby.
Get a fucking baby. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. It's a baby. Get the fuck out of here? God damn it, man. That's like, I can't think of a good. I'll think of a good example. Nah, I can't fucking think of anything. Whatever. Anyways,
how many times do you guys think it's acceptable to stand up on a plane flight?
It depends on how long the flight is.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like we could come up with a rule that is proportional to the amount of time, but let's say it's a 10-hour flight, because that's what I usually take.
Where are you sitting? Where are you sitting on the plane?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to know the answer for both aisle and if you're
middle,
window or middle.
All right. If you're
honestly, I think window and middle, I feel like is the same thing in terms of what the
but honestly,
my favorite thing to do is I love
sitting
on the aisle than asking the person in the middle if I could go to the bathroom.
Windows even more egregious because I think you have to make two people stand up, obviously.
That's a good point.
But if you're so like I say intercontinental, I guess, yeah, I mean technically the intercontinental flight that I took, there was 3 rows of seats, right? So like there's a middle row of seats with 3 people, there's a side row with 3 people, and then there's on the right side. So my mom and I sat in the middle row.
Yeah.
I sat on the left aisle and she sat in the middle, and I did that on purpose because if she ever wants to go to the bathroom, it's just easier.
You don't care about getting up. Yeah,
exactly. So like honestly, I stood up probably like during that 12-hour flight, probably stood up maybe like 10 times, to be honest, during that entire
Hell
time.
yeah, my kind of guy.
Yeah, no, because I mean I'm on the fucking aisle. I'm not gonna ask anybody
if I'm on the aisle. I am using that stuff so much. I'm stretching every 20 minutes.
Yeah. Also because
I love seeing the people go into the overhead compartment, just grab nothing and then close it.
Yeah, I do that shit sometimes. I'll put like my charger away sometimes just for the fun of it. Like, did I forget this thing and just like open it? But I was gonna say, I feel like because I have larger shoulders, so like when I am sitting on the aisle, people that are walking by tend to like bump my fucking shoulder, and because that's like an inconvenience for fucking me, to be honest, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna stand up as much as I want. So I just do whatever.
I've had my head smacked by the flight attendant cart because it drifted off to the side while I was sleeping.
That's tough, bro.
It was not pleasant. It was not pleasant.
That's rough.
I was on a flight. I had to fly to Baltimore on Monday, and last Monday, and I was sitting in the front row on Southwest. And here's a quick hack about Southwest. Due to Americans with Disabilities Act law, they can't ask you about any disabilities you may or may not have. So if you tell Southwest that you need pre-boarding, they just give it to you.
Do you claim to have a disability when you do that, or do you just ask for pre-boarding?
No, I go over and I say, "Excuse me, I need to be able to sit in the front row for my and then I say I usually sometimes I'll say I just had surgery or something like that." But all you have to do is be like, I need to be able to sit in the front row. I can't.
Brett, I'm sorry. The phrasing, back. I need to be able to sit in the front row does kind of make it sound like you're saying you have a disability.
I don't give
Which,
a fuck.
To be fair, I feel like you would qualify for that with your.
I probably would with all my double discs.
Yeah.
Hernia and my
that doesn't bother me so much because it's justified. But if Comey or I did that, I think that's actually kind of fucked.
Whoa. According to the American Disability Act, you can't ask me whether or not I have a disability. So you got to chill with that. All right.
Just because you can't be asked does not mean you are justified.
Same thing, and that's the same thing at Disney World. At Disney World, you have to if you go over to guest services, you say, "I'm so sorry, due to my disability, I can't stand in line for too long." They give you a line skip pass.
Get out of here! Really? I'm about to use that shit.
Now it's not the kind of thing where like you just skip the line every time. You go over to them and they like if the line's 40 minutes long, they tell you to come back in 40 minutes so you don't have to wait in the line. But you can go around and do other shit.
Can you cross your arms and stomp really hard and be like, "But I have a disability"?
Yeah. So sick.
Does an exemption apply with parking? Because how does that work? Why can't somebody just claim?
Because that's government. I think that's federal. Whereas these are businesses, and businesses aren't allowed to. Just like when I was working at a movie theater, I was working at a movie theater once. Somebody brought a parrot in with a little vest.
As a service animal?
I was laughing at something else that I heard parrot with a vest.
And I said, he went to go see Manchester by the Sea with his parrot. And I was just like, "Sir, I don't think you can bring that in there." He goes, "This is my service animal. You're not allowed to ask me about it." And then my manager brought me aside and said, "You are not allowed to ask about service animals."
But what? Okay, what if the parrot was like, "I'm not a service animal"?
Yeah, he's a liar.
Admitted to not being
He's like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I taught him.
That's a rare case where the animal could actually reveal the truth.
Dude, I've seen so many weird service animals.
What's the most egregious? I was about to ask that. What is the most egregious service animal that you could possibly?
The parrot was pretty egregious, but there was one at the first college I went to, Skidmore College. In my history class, somebody had a potbelly pig with a big. His name was Lyle.
Cute, though.
Yeah, he had a big. He would just lie down in the middle of the road during history class, and once a class, he would just hear.
I want to get like
he was very well behaved.
I want to get like an ostrich or something and just walk around with that shit. This is my service. This is my service animal. I dare you to fucking say anything. And then whenever I need to get somewhere fast, I just hop on his back and just fuck
you hop on.
Oh my god. God damn it. All right.
I've seen an emotional support rat before.
I've seen those. I don't think that's pretty crazy. I think the parrot's crazier than the rat, to be honest. I don't know why, but
well, so to me, the parrot is funny. And so I'm kind of with it in terms of like that's obviously not an emotional support animal.
He had a vest that said service.
Yeah, but you can get that for any animal. That's not like a legal thing, or it didn't used to be. I don't think.
I wonder how you get it for a parrot. Like, how do you fit it around the wing? Like, who made it?
It's custom made. You got it on Etsy.
Etsy, yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. Oh fuck! I've been selling shit on like Facebook Market. As soon as I've had shit up forever, but I always sell shit on like Facebook Marketplace or or offer up. And I think I've told you guys this before. I hate when people like cancel last minute.
Yeah.
Because like I'm like overly cautious about shit like that. Like I just don't like to waste people's time. So like when I say I'm gonna buy something, I feel obligated to buy it, even if I like find it for like a cheaper price or whatever. So that's just how I am. Like I guess you can call me a businessman. Okay. But with that said, people tend to like cancel a lot recently. Like I literally sold something yesterday, funny enough, because I got it yesterday, but I sold something yesterday. And I had two things lined up to sell today. And both people within like a span of an hour messaged me and they're like, "Hey, sorry, not gonna end up buying this." I was like, where do your loyalties lie? You know what I'm saying? Like you said you're gonna buy it.
Not to you.
Apparently not.
It becomes a question of loyalty for you.
Where are your fucking loyalties at? I don't understand. You said you were gonna buy it yesterday. What happened within the last 12 hours that changed your mind? So
I like the idea that choosing not to buy something, it's not just, a random preference or change of heart. It's a matter of integrity for the person.
I genuinely feel that way. Yeah. So
and yet you don't like tipping people.
No. I don't like tipping people if they don't give any type of service. Like I'm tipping waiters no matter what. Actually,
okay.
Not no matter what. Like if they spit in my face, obviously I'm not tipping you as a waiter. But if you do your job decently, I'm giving you a decent tip, right? So yeah. But if you go above and beyond, then you get that 35-40% tip. Even though I don't have money, but
40%.
They have to like. They got to like.
No, you don't.
They got to like carry me.
You
to
have not tipped 40%. You have not tipped 40% once in your life.
How do you guys know that?
Kobe gets $100 bill and he leaves $40 for them.
How do you guys know? You don't know that. You don't fucking know that. You don't know my life. Maybe I tip 40% all the fucking time. That's just how I fucking do.
I don't think you've ever even gone above 30.
That's not
nobody.
True.
Nobody who sells anything on OfferUp tips more than 20%.
It's literally fucking insane. But all right, cool.
I say this like I've tipped above 30%. I feel like I've only ever hit 30.
Yeah, the highest I've ever done is 30. I'm not doing. What the fuck am I doing?
I've tipped 100% before.
Yeah, was the bill $1?
No, it was like
$1. Yeah.
What was it?
It was like no. I remember one time I was at California Pizza Kitchen, and the guy, all I ordered was like a dessert for my fiance and I, and we split it. And the guy was just funny and cool, and he was just like, "Oh, that's he was very friendly and just making us laugh the whole time." So I just left him a $20 tip.
So was he was flirting with your girlfriend then? That's why he was.
No, he was. All right, shut the fuck
up. Look, I changed my mind. I just remembered something. Within like the last 4 months, I tipped like honestly like 300%. I'm gonna explain why. Check this out. I went to a restaurant with my girl in Ohio. This was like 3 months ago or something like that, and we went with one of her girlfriends, and her girlfriend was like, or is, I don't, they're not gonna watch this fucking podcast, but she was like seeing the dude who was the waiter at the place, and we got like an appetizer, and my girl got like a martini, or I can't fucking remember, some alcoholic drink, but he zeroed out the bill, and I tipped him like $50. So I mean,
that's a lot more than 300%.
Well, whatever.
I don't know
Anyways,
how would you do that? $0 to
yeah. So
$50. What's that percentage? Is
there you
that
go, John.
possible?
Talking shit, get hit, homie. You know what I'm saying? It was a 1 cent bill. It was a 1 cent bill, and I tipped $50. So not a big
That's
deal.
dope.
You know what I'm saying? Call me Rick Ross. I got. Let me see. I got some more shit here? Oh, this
I
one's
got one.
stupid.
Yeah, you got a final topic for us?
This
I
one's
got one.
stupid.
All right, go on.
No. I'll save this for the last one. This one's dumb.
This is something that I think we've all three of us have talked about before, but we've never talked about it on the pod. And I just want to know if any of our opinions have changed. I had a roommate when I was living in San Diego who, and
I
by the way,
wonder.
I am
I wonder if there's no way that he's listened to any of these
no way.
podcasts, right? There's no way. Yeah.
By the way, I am Jewish, and so is John.
So am I.
And so, yeah. And
Nice.
I said, and I one time I walked by a girl and I was like, oh, she's Jewish. And my roommate goes, you can't do that. You can't possibly know that somebody's Jewish just by looking at them. And my point was, if you lined up 100 people and told me 10 of them were Jewish,
You
I don't
sound.
think, I
You
don't think
sound.
I
You
don't think,
sound.
I don't think I would get all 10, but I would get 5 or 6.
Saying.
So this is
Wait. Can I? Sorry, John. Let me just
yeah,
get
yeah,
this
yeah.
out.
Please,
Saying
please.
lining up Jewish people to
I know
identify
that.
is fucking crazy.
That's not what I
It's the
meant.
most unhinged thing I've ever heard Brett say. I think unintentionally.
if you tattooed 10 Jewish
Stop!
people in a group of
Stop!
100.
Stop it!
Oh my God, Jesus. Oh, this man said if you lined up 100 Jewish people, I could
You
identify
lined them
them.
up, and you have to find 10.
Oh my God. Okay. If they were
Anyway,
hiding, if they were
I mean,
hiding in an attic.
if they were in
So-
hiding, I'd find them.
Oh fuck. All right, John. Sorry, go ahead. Oh my God.
I mean, yeah,
Because there is a look.
They-
There's an Ashkenazi look.
there is a look. There is definitely an Ashkenazi look.
Absolutely.
There's even a Sephardic look. It's
There
just
is.
it's less common in the States for sure.
I don't have.
For those
I'm
that don't
Jewish
know,
and I don't have the look.
Ashkenazi and Sephardic, for those who might not know, are I guess like ethnic subdivisions within Judaism.
Yeah.
Judaism.
Basically, shorthand would be Ashkenazi would be kind of Eastern Europe, and Sephardim would be like more Middle East and
Arabic.
Spain.
Nice. Didn't know that.
More Arabic. Anyways, I that I have a couple issues with it. On one level, I understand what your old roommate was saying and why he was saying it. I don't think he's right, but it's not. It's you can't look at somebody and go, they're not Jewish very easily. Like any
Right.
given person could be Jewish, but there are people that you can look at and you just know. And I
Yeah.
think if you're Jewish and you grew up Jewish, you're more likely to just know. And I think the existence of Larry David kind of just proves our point for us.
It's funny. Or fucking Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders? Is that his name?
Bernie
Barry?
Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. What the fuck? I gotta get
Bernie
Barry
Sanders. Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
But like,
no,
if
no.
I showed him a picture of Fran Drescher. I was like, "What religion is she?" He goes, "I'm gonna assume she's Jewish because that's." What I was like.
Well, I wouldn't go by. That's the thing. See, I wouldn't go by religion more than I guess ethnicity, because what John's saying is true. Because like anybody who, I could be Jewish because if I converted, you wouldn't.
Sure.
So I guess ethnicity more than religion.
I mean,
But,
also, I mean, that you could have been born into a Jewish family. Comey, like I don't look at you and I don't know your Togolese as compared to the Ethiopian, and there's a huge Ethiopian Jewish population.
So
you can't just point at somebody and be like, they're not Jewish. That's too yeah.
And I compare that whole conversation. I've said this multiple times. I could look at people who are like, you can line up 100 like black African Americans and like pop in 10 of them that are Togolese, and I'd be like,
why are you lining up more people?
Yeah, these ones won't be okay. So with that, that's stupid. With that said, yeah. with that said, you can line up 100 like African Americans and pop in.
If you
Jesus
Stop.
Christ!
Why?
If, for instance, right?
No.
Listen. I can line up 100 African Americans and pop in 20 or 10 fucking Togolese, and I'd probably be able to pick them out. So I'm just saying that, like, I think that if you are within a certain ethnicity group for long enough, and you know those people, and the people's facial features are very like you can tell. Like it'd be like somebody who's Somali, be like, "How do you know Somalis? Because I can see your face, bitch. What are you talking about?"
and it's got
Like,
nothing to do like if you're Jewish, it's got nothing to do with being like, oh, you've got a big nose. That's not. I'm not saying like I'm not talking about stereotypes. I'm just saying like growing up around Jews,
yeah,
I can just when I see a Jewish person, I'm like, oh, they're Jewish.
yeah,
Guys, I
fair
got a
enough.
question. I got a quick question. And it's probably the darkest you'll ever hear me go. But like, notoriously with the Atlantic Triangle, you got slaves coming over on boats. Notoriously in the Holocaust, you got Jews put on trains. When the next genocide occurs, do you guys think it's going to
Submarines,
occur like largely with airplanes or
submarines.
maybe rocket ships, submarines?
That's not even that dark. That's a pretty good thought experiment, actually. Yeah, I think
Ah,
the fastest mode of like
I'm not
transportation,
gonna make that joke. That's not a
they're
joke
gonna
I'm gonna
they're probably
say.
gonna use like Elon Musk's fucking what's it called, rocket ships, so they can like
I'm gonna say
shoot
that
them off and land them.
we could probably cut this one out. But I was gonna say what.
Yeah, go ahead and cut that one. I'll just tell you right now. Go ahead and cut that one.
Okay, so new topic, by the way. Um, you guys, this is not something that I was going to bring up, but this is just a thought that I had. Um, the protests that are springing up around like different colleges around the U.S. are really interesting to me. The one in Columbia, for instance, and other like notable colleges.
UCSD too. Just
UC,
UCSD just got torn down by the police today.
UCSD as well. Any thoughts about that shit that's happening and um because like it does feel like a lot of these colleges are like, yay, we support like your guys' right to protest, and where it's a lot of these colleges are like super left leaning, but then like when these people tend to maybe speak out a little bit more than they're supposed to, it feels like they're like, shut the fuck up.
That's not really
um
in my opinion. That's not really what's happening though.
oh really?
Yeah, in my
What's
opinion, the colleges are not saying you can't protest. They're saying you have to protest and protest under the rules. It's private property.
Yeah, but that's nonsense to begin with. Protesting under the rules is an oxymoron.
But it's not because it's private property. They're not on public property.
Yeah, I know, but you point to any successful protest movement, and there are largely protests that are going on that are not according to the rules.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's very true.
Think about just about any march.
You can't block students from going to class.
I
And
mean,
if you do, it like that's like they're not saying you can't
I would
protest.
say
They're saying if you're
I would
on
say you
our
can't block
property,
students going to class with force. I think that's probably not probably that's
sure.
unjustified.
But if you're on
But
private property, so here's my thing. I'm totally fine with the protests and the encampments and all of that. Like I don't have a problem with any of that. And I don't have a problem with any like I disagree with all the from the river to the sea. I have my own opinion about all that those sayings. But if you're on private property, that institution, that property, that company has they're allowed to say what when and do you know what I'm trying to say? They're allowed to say you have broken the rules that we have laid out.
Let me ask you a question. What if let's remove the Palestinian thing for a second, right? Let's say that we're fuck it. Let's say that we're 40 years into the future, and there's a company who Apple has a monopoly on the market of like employment. Apple employs pretty much the entire world, and Apple is only employing, fuck it. Let's say Apple's only employing black people. Fuck it. They're like, oh, you guys work better. We're only going to employ you guys. Sorry, white people. Now, again, thought experiment. Would you say that it's not okay for white people to be like, to show up to Apple headquarters and like protest? And by the way, Apple has decided that it is they've written rules and laws, regulations that say that you're not allowed to step onto Apple property unless you're an employee, and um, people who don't work are destitute. Their kids are fucking starving and hungry. The poverty is through the roof. Now, again, now, do you think that it's okay for these white people to show up to
I certainly
Apple?
think it's okay, but it's also totally okay for Apple to then do something about it if you're on their property, breaking their rules.
I think
I mean, I think it depends on what that action is. Like, yeah, obviously Apple isn't just going to like silently have the protest occur. They might if they feel like that's a better thing to do in that thought experiment. But yeah, I understand the idea that like they can respond in some way, bringing in force, police, like etc. I I mean, I don't necessarily think it's like wrong, but sometimes that's the purpose of the protest. Like there are examples in that example, if Apple brought in police to arrest the protesters, that's often going to be the purpose of that protest is to get arrested, is
right.
to take that action and break those rules and have the punishment for breaking those rules enforced. Because the point is to say it doesn't the rules don't matter. The thing I'm protesting matters more.
Mm.
It's its own kind of action to have the retaliation from the organization that has that property occur. And I would say that this argument of like, um, you can't break the rules of this private organization, this private property. You can't break their their rules is sort of is kind of as old as protesting itself. Like you look at the founding of the United States, and there was like tremendous concern amongst the founding fathers about that these rabble mobs and them overrunning the streets, with the common man and etc. And a lot of the rules around private property and stuff are built actually to limit protest. And
Yeah.
and I think a lot of these protest movements are saying, well, fuck that, like we shouldn't be limited in this way. And so I think I don't think it's a straightforward thing of just absolutely not, like, protesters should just be able to overrun any building they want. And it, like, obviously that is maybe a bit too much mayhem. Uh, I, even though, yeah, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit,
No, I think
but
I think both things can exist at the same time. I think that people can protest and like not and break the rules that are set in place, and companies are allowed to enforce those rules if they want to, right?
That's all I'm trying to say.
Right.
What I'm trying to
So
say is like, how do you like that's exactly how they're going to react if you are on their property and you are breaking their rules.
sure.
but I don't think anybody is really complaining about the place reacting in that way. If anything, they're pointing out that that reaction is part of the problem. They're not saying, "Oh, you can't do that." They're saying you doing that is shitty.
Right. Yeah. No,
Mm,
I mean, I don't know, because I the only thing I can think of is like uh civil disobedience, right? And it's not the idea is not to like play uh, play within the boundaries of the rules. You're purposefully playing not within the boundaries of the rules in order to see like how far you can go, or like
Exactly.
how people will respond or react. So like you are trying to more or less get a rise out of people. Like and I don't mean to say it in that way, but like that's the point of protesting. It's like, yo, this is fucked up, and what we're trying to show is that it's fucked up. And not only is it fucked up, but you're like fuck, I can't even think of the word. You're
but
making
my
it
point is
worse.
then you're being in, if you I agree with everything you're saying, but if you want to make that point and you want to cause some mayhem about it, do it more publicly in a place where it's legal, in a place where it's protected under the First Amendment.
But
And
I
then
don't think that has that much impact. Like, I mean, it can, but I don't think it's the only way to protest, and it shouldn't be the only way to protest.
don't be surprised when the police show up. That's all I'm saying.
Fucking right.
Like, just don't.
But don't be surprised if the police show up, idiot.
I don't think anyone is surprised when the police show up in these circumstances.
I don't think that
and I would actually say, if we're bringing it back from the Apple thing and into the world of college students protesting, if they're protesting peacefully, I do a little bit have an issue with police being called on young students protesting. That to me seems a little bit much.
I think so.
Yeah, I have seen some videos where I was like, ugh.
The main thing that's happening is within the guidelines of these college universities, a lot of them allow protesting, but they don't allow camping out. So a lot of these students are camping out, and they're like, "Nah." The colleges are like, "Fuck that," and they call the police to come break this shit up. Essentially, and that's what's pretty much happening. So
yeah, I do find the encampments. I'm trying to sort out what I think about the encampments, because to me it doesn't actually seem like that effective of an action.
My point is, if the UN, if every single, like every single country besides like 7 in the UN couldn't get Israel to stop what they're doing, what the fuck are these 18-year-olds gonna do?
Yeah, well, but that's not the point. Like the point is to, yeah.
All right.
Anyway. Obviously, like we sitting here know we don't have a lot of power, but the point is that maybe you have a little bit more.
Also, as long as everybody listening,
we got 100 fucking downloads on.
As long as everybody,
yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
As long as everybody listening knows that I do not disagree with the protesters. I think that there is something to be said for both sides, and I think the protesters are totally valid.
Yeah. I think Comey and I at least are just pushing back on. I don't think anybody's here is saying that the protesters should not be protesting. Period.
Yeah.
It's maybe more an argument about how they should be protesting.
Yeah.
Also, Brett, don't be a fucking spineless coward. Pick a side.
All right, fine. I'm not.
I mean,
you know exactly what I was going to say.
I was at my college reunion this past weekend. That's part of why I was in the States.
Ew.
And so obviously, really good time if you're a student and you care about this stuff. Lobbying alumni, hugely important, because alumni give the school money. You're asking the school to divest all that.
No fucking money, YG. What are you talking about? What are you...
Well, I'm not saying I do, but obviously the students don't know that. Yeah, I walk around, they could be like, "Oh, that guy must be a venture capitalist." So you never know. Oh, big shot. His podcast has 100 downloads.
Hey,
but it was cool to be there and actually like be on a college campus and see some of it, seeing the encampment and kind of what it was like. Have students coming up to me and talking to me about what they were doing and why. And I personally found it really cool. Like I found it. One, they all just seemed so much younger than I remember being when I was in college. And two, I just found it really cool to see like 21-year-olds being really lit up about something to the point of disrupting the alumni weekend and lobbying the people at the school, and all of it was peaceful. Like they were just kind of doing marches and then prevented some of the events and stuff like that. And it just struck me as like very well done amongst the students.
I would have if I were you, I would have grabbed the megaphone and be like, "Hey, guys, not to interrupt anything, but just want to let you know that I flew 10+ hours to come here. I don't know if you guys should be really doing this right now. It's cost me a lot of
this
money.
is kind of my moment.
Yeah, you're fucking this up for me. I would appreciate it if you stopped.
I saw a video of somebody. I saw a video of somebody at the Columbia encampment on a megaphone going, "October 7th, 1,000 times more," and I was like, "Ooh,
oh, that's kind of a bit much."
I was like, okay.
Have you guys seen any of the footage of the Berkeley protests in the late 60s?
No, but I was there. I was there when Ianopolis was supposed to come, bro. They were like burning down trees, and like the SWAT team came in. It was fucking crazy. That was my first year.
Yeah, no, Berkeley, I feel like has, because of their history, they kind of go extra hard with it now.
Is that
guy,
but there's this great irrelevant now?
Yeah, he is. John, yeah, what are you saying?
There's just a great speech you guys should go listen to. It's short. And it's by, what is the dude's name? It's Marco
Polo
Rubio.
Something. I'll pull it up. I'll find it and send it to you guys. But you with a little bit of Google searching what I'm describing, you can find it easily. But basically, they had stopped a police car outside one of the buildings. And were taking turns climbing up on top of it and making speeches. And it turned into like an unexpected protest. It was unplanned. And then turned into this massive protest. And the guy gets up and he gives the speech of his life It's so cool. It's like one of the most inspiring civil disobedience things I've ever heard. So if you're curious at all about like student protest movements and their birth, I feel like it's a good one to go watch.
He's like, hey, what's the deal with airplane peanuts, huh? Ah. Like, whenever I go to the bathroom, why do people the you know tissue paper, toilet paper, why is it it's supposed to go over, not under?
Comey watches a lot of Your Mama's House.
What's
What's the
your
deal
mom?
with airplane peanuts?
Oh, wait, what? What is that?
Your Mama's House?
No, I don't know what that is.
Tom Segura's podcast?
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I don't.
like
I actually don't watch too much of that. Oh, I guess I got one more thing. It was just kind of stupid, but I'm also just lifting this off of a podcast that I watched. Funny enough, that we talk about podcasts, but and since we're all struggling with money, uh, I was just questions for you guys. Top, like, if you had, let's say you had $10 million, right? And somebody, a venture capitalist, gave it to you. They're like, "Hey, we want you to come up with a startup. Give me like 3 ideas. It doesn't have to be three, but like top 3 types of startups that you would make."
Oh, I got a
And
great idea. I got
what
one great idea. I'm just not an engineer, and I wish I could do it.
and what kind? What
What
would
is it?
It's a product, not a company.
what
Yeah,
would the
what is it?
company? God damn
It's
it! I
huh?
go. Fuck it, go. I don't care.
And I've had this idea now for weeks, and I just don't know how to get it off the ground. First, actually, I got two good ideas. First one is a portable air conditioner. You know how air conditioners you need to you need to connect them because they take in so much water, so you always need to push them out the window. They need to be
Okay.
window units. There's no such thing as an actual portable air conditioner that doesn't collect water because you need to be able.
You don't think people have been working on that for a really long time, and it's just a really difficult problem to solve.
All right, I got another one.
I'm not giving you fucking any money if I'm that venture capitalist.
All
Fuck
right,
you.
I
What
got another one. I
kind
got
of
another
bullshit
one.
are you
And
coming up
Yeah,
with?
I think I'm out on that one as
Yeah,
one of the
yeah, yeah.
sharks.
I'm out. Yeah, all right, I got another one.
All right,
All
go.
right, this is literally just a copycat idea. So in Las Vegas, there is only one company that makes automatic under the table card shufflers. There's only one. They have a monopoly on all of them. They cost $1,100 per shuffler. And I want to be able
Oh,
to make my own shuffler that is patented and is what's the word? When somebody else can't copy,
Proprietary.
proprietary, and make it half the price.
if you did
I
that, that would succeed.
I
That
think I
100%.
think I think you would probably get killed by the mob if you did that.
That was the issue. That was the problem.
Yeah.
No. The key with that is you do it. That's the kind of thing where like you build that and then you sell it to that company that has a monopoly because who the hell cares about that being a monopoly? And then you get bought out for however much it's worth and you move on with your life. But
Yeah. Instead of being
that would
$1,100,
100%
make
succeed
it.
if you could figure out how to design it for cheaper. Absolutely, that would succeed.
Okay. One more. Do you have one more, Brett? Or that's
That's all
it.
I
You got
got.
two. All right. Fuck it. Two. What about you, John? You got top? You got any three? Or you can come up with
I'm
one. I
not.
can.
I'm gonna struggle to be honest. I don't know if I could come up with anything on the fly. Uh,
I'll do mine. I'll do one. I have one.
yeah, do yours, and then I'll
And
see
this
if anything comes to
and
me.
this is so fucking idiotic. It's fucking genius. Check this out. I would make a museum, right? Probably like somewhere in SF or something like that. Somewhere like where there's a lot of foot traffic. SF, maybe New York, probably New York. I'd make a museum and I would hire 24/7 guards and have security and like legit assault rifles or whatever. But I would have a room, and with that $10 million, I would spend 9 million of that just cash, just in straight up cash, like actual dollar bills or even change if that is necessary, but probably dollar bills if anything. So $9 million in dollar bills. Have like a glass box, a bulletproof fucking whatever the fuck glass box. Spend another 250K on fucking security and building the box and whatever, and I would charge people commission to come see the $9 million. Okay, wait for it, and it'd be $1 to see the $9 million, and you could add money to the $9 million. So you can add. There's a slot. Check this out. Wait, hold up. There's a slot where you could put in $1, and you could see the dollar fall, and voila, your money's been added to the $9 million.
Hang on a minute.
So with that,
so what you're describing, so you'd make an art installation, like a Banksy style art installation.
pretty much. Yeah.
That's your startup.
Would it not create money? It would create revenue. You would pay $1 to get in, and people would obviously want their money added to the.
Why
money.
would anyone pay $1 and $2 ultimately, because $1 to get in and then $1 to deposit?
John,
$2 to see $9 million.
John, if you were in New York City, right, and one of your friends is like, "Oh, there's a fucking cool art exhibit. They're showing $9 million in cash, and it only costs $1 to get in." You'd be like, "Nah, I don't want to fucking see that."
I'm down with it if you figure out a way to turn it into a commentary instead of just people giving you
also,
money
Comey,
for showing them $9 million.
In order for you to
care about commentary.
in order for you to get all your money back, in order for you to get all the 9 million back, 3.5% of America would have to visit your installation.
Wait, that's how large is the population of America?
Like 300 million.
Yeah, you're acting like people won't come back to the art the museum.
They won't.
Okay, fine. I'll charge $5, bitch. Doesn't matter. I just said $1.
Okay, but the higher you go, the less likely people are to come. Like, there's a world in which I pay $1 to see $9 million. I don't think there's a world in which I pay $5 to see $9 million. I don't give a shit.
The higher you go, the higher the less money I'm going to add to the pile.
You're saying that now, but if the opportunity was presented to you for you to see $9 million in cash, you'd probably take it for $5.
So did you just see like the Trevi Fountain in Rome, and you're just like, people are just throwing coins in this shit. This is such a good idea. I don't do it with money.
I don't like the fact that Brett came up with, what was Brett's first idea?
I'm not saying Brett's was good.
Wait, what was Brett's first idea again? Give me a second.
Portable AC.
Yeah, we didn't shit enough. I have a whole fucking thing here. I know how much I'm spending the money on. Brett's like, we should make a fucking AC unit. And all you said was,
the thing is, just knowing how much you're going to spend doesn't mean you know how much you're going to make.
Yeah, it doesn't. It also doesn't mean that I wouldn't make an egregious amount of money. You're just assuming that it's not going to work.
Well, you to break even. Brett just outlined it for you. To break even, you would need 1 million people to come.
Okay, fuck it. Okay, fine.
And actually, no, more because of operating costs for your security guards.
Okay, listen. Okay, fuck it. I apologize for making admission $1. It's $5 now, fucking asshole. Now you have to
and you can buy a season pass.
It's only $5 for me.
Yeah, just you and anybody that you know. It's $5. Look, okay, fuck it. We make it even $5, right?
And then if worse comes to worse, and nobody comes, he can just take the 9 million in cash and just leave.
Bro,
but then you've lost $1 million on this investment.
There is no way in hell, John and Brett, there's no fucking way that if I put $9 million in a glass case and present it as a fucking like admission opportunity, people are not going to come and fucking see it. Are you serious? People have never seen that much money.
Absolutely
in their
not.
lives
Not if you present it like that. If you present it in that way that people love, where it's like you put it in perspective. So you do like 10 million jelly beans and $10 million bills, and you do that thing, people would come. But still, you're not making $1 million off that.
John, you underestimate the stupidity of people. I
think you're underestimating the amount of money that the amount of people you would need to get in to make your money back.
Okay, fine. Brett, do the math real quick. $5 instead of
how many people? How many people do you think go see a show on Broadway?
But this isn't the same as a show on Broadway takes 2.5 hours to watch, and it costs $50-$60, right? And there's when the Mona Lisa is in town, how many people do you think go see it?
It's
got to be a few 100,000 people.
Yeah, so again, not even remotely close to making your money back.
But what you're not understanding is that we can get people in and out of there in less than 5 minutes, buddy. Like we're just spinning that wheel here, man. But you get 5 minutes. You get 3 minutes in there. You get $5 admission.
If it was $5, it'd be about 0.7% of America would have to come to your installment.
That's nothing, but we can get that in a few months. We're getting our money back.
You've never even met 0.7% of America.
Yeah, neither have you.
Exactly.
All right,
And they
check this out.
certainly don't live in San
What if
Francisco.
Comey?
New
What
York,
if you
New York.
use that one? What if you use that 1 million to create a $9 million bill that's completely novel, but you get it registered as legal tender within the United States,
I don't think you're allowed
and then
to
you
do
have
that.
people, you have people come see it.
That's stupid. That's a dumb idea. I don't like that. I like my idea better. Okay, fine. You know what? I fixed the idea in my head. Here you go. Fine. You guys want to make everything so shitty. I don't fucking understand. Fine. With $2 million of the 10 million, I'll create fake bills and put them into the room and act like they're fucking real bills. Oh, is that what you guys want to fucking hear? That they're not real?
So then you
it's
just
not real
keep
money?
the $8 million and you just
No,
fraudulently.
Yeah, you just do art fraud.
No. I used 2 million to make 8 million, to make 9 fake
Okay,
million.
check this
9
out.
fake million. Wait, John, you're not gonna make my idea shittier. Okay, you already made me.
No,
make
I have a better one.
All right,
I have a better idea. I think if you find a way to pitch this towards ultra wealthy people and you charge like $200,000 admittance,
so they can write it off,
and you find a way. So if I'm just like somebody off the street, I don't want to spend $1 to go see money. Like,
John,
who gives a fuck?
yes, you would. You're spending
but if I'm rich as hell and I've been brainwashed into thinking that spending a lot of money
status symbol
makes it worth it no matter what the thing is. For example, like most designer goods work off that model. I think you'd be in better territory. I actually think you'd be better off charging like an insane amount of money, and then it becomes like a social clout thing. It's like, ooh, I saw the Beblu exhibit.
Nah, man, this is for the people. I don't understand what you don't get about this. This is for us, by us. This is FUBU.
This is the FUBU exhibit.
I would charge $5 and let people roll around in it, and then have a security guard make sure that they didn't take any.
They probably eat some. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Even if, anyways, that's my idea. John, you don't have anything.
Right.
You're shitting on my idea. You don't have shit.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think about white people wearing FUBU?
That's fine as long as you're purchasing the brand. Doesn't fucking matter to me.
Yeah,
Also,
I guess it goes in sports.
Who the fuck
That's
is
the whole
wearing
point, right?
FUBU at this point? If you're wearing FUBU, then there's something wrong. No, yeah.
Point.
It's like,
right, how about this? How about how much can your suitcase weigh at an airport?
50 pounds.
How about a self-weighing suitcase? So you can know before you go to the airport.
That's idiotic, because the only reason why that's stupid is because you could just buy like a hand scale and then you can use it on any suitcase. If you buy
I'm
a
not
suitcase,
gonna lie, guys. I love this as like an ongoing segment for the pod of like you come in with you come up with a startup idea
shit.
and the other two people rip it apart.
Let's do it. This is
That's
fun. Also, okay, so let's end the podcast real quick. I do have like 2 terms for Brett. I said I was going to bring some in next time. So, Brett, are we going to end the podcast, by the way? Or do we have anything else, or?
I'm trying to think of a startup idea. If it comes to me,
you can come with it next week, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's not going to be as good as the $9 million idea, but it is what it is.
A barbershop that does women too.
It's fucking brilliant. And it doesn't take like 4 hours to
honestly,
do it. It's an hour. It's an
best
hour
idea
max.
I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, one old ass barber just shaving every woman's head who comes in.
Look, just coming with the stupidest shit, like a pen that has different types of inks. Oh fuck. Okay. Quick thing for Brett. I have one. What was it? Oh yeah. Okay. What if you said that someone is invited to the cookout? What does that mean, Brett? Oh, this is
only for Brett?
Well, I mean, you probably know what it is. By the way, it's called Black Vernacular. Da 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 da. Wow. All right. If you say someone's invited to the cookout, Brett, what does it mean?
They're cool.
Okay, but like cool in what way? Can you expound on that?
Like black cool.
Oh man, yeah.
Okay.
Good job, Brett. Okay. If you say, and this is like more of a, I think girls say this more than guys, but if you say someone ate, what does that mean?
No idea.
John, any helps?
I mean, I actually I know what it means like in context. It feels weird to describe. I guess like if somebody like kind of went in on something, like they kind of took it and made it theirs.
Nice. All right. And that's been Black Vernacular.
That's it.
That's pretty much
All right,
it.
Comey, white vernacular. What exactly does bee's knees mean?
It means something's really cool. You guys should come up with like a Yiddish shit for me to do. That'd be pretty
Cat's
funny.
pajamas.
Okay,
Cat's
yeah.
pajamas.
Tell me what. I got two for you, Comey.
All right,
This
cool.
is Yiddish,
Yiddish.
reviving a dead language. All right, do you know what kvetching means?
Yeah, it means if sweating. It means sweating. Doesn't it mean sweating?
No.
Does it mean thirsty?
No.
No.
Fetch.
No. We kvetch a lot on this pod.
Oh, it's just like
It's like-
talking shit.
Like a lot.
Yeah, it's like bitching.
Yeah,
okay.
kind of. It's complaining.
Okay.
But it's like Jewish complaining.
Okay.
All right, Comey, what about one more Yiddish? Comey, what does kepi mean?
Is it a type of hat?
Close.
Is it? It's a type of hat. It's a hat, right? It's like you put something on your head. Something you put on
John?
your.
I actually don't know what a kepi is, to be honest.
Kepi is just head. That's what
Oh,
Yiddish
okay,
mothers.
Oh,
But like, put your kepi down.
Okay. All right.
All right, Comey, what is a shiksa?
A shiksa goddess is a type of person who is not Jewish. It's a woman who is not Jewish.
Damn, let's go. Okay. Where do you know that from?
Fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm has done more for the culture than just about anything else.
Pretty much anything. All right, yo, this has been the fucking podcast. Make sure to check us out on Spotify. We're on
Speaking
fucking
real
Apple.
quick, speaking of Yiddish, I won't be able to be
God
here
damn it.
on Saturday or Sunday because we're going to my bubby, which means grandmother. My bubby is
Why
turning
are you-
100. Huh?
Sorry, continue.
Where I could probably do something on Saturday, I might be able to, but Bubby is turning 102.
Shout out to Bubby.
Wow.
We'll figure something out, or we don't. I don't know. At this point, this podcast is kind of just fucking sparse.
This is the last episode. It turns
we also,
out.
we did. We don't even know it. We also said that we're going to switch platforms. We're just not fucking doing it. So I mean, we should probably start splitting the cost of this shit with.
Would you guys continue podcasting if I died?
I think we had to. We would have to. I'd
Yeah,
also
we-
hit.
Yeah.
I'd also hit up Spencer and ask him if he wanted to do a movie podcast with me.
No, you didn't. Oh wait, which Spencer? John's?
No, John.
My
Spencer.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's been the podcast. And check us out on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. This will obviously be up on YouTube as well, but I mean, whatever the fuck. And that's it. Have a keppy fucking day.
There it is.
All right, bye.
Hey, give me Kippy.